Hi folks, good to be with you. Excuse me. We're looking at the Origins of the Koran, a book edited by Ibn Warwick, and it's just a short review. What I'm doing is going through this book. It's mainly secular scholars, or Orientalists as the Muslims would say, critiquing the Koran from the 19th to the mid-20th century. So I'm reading through this book, but I've got a variety of Muslim scholars after this book that I want to get into in preparation for going back to Hyde Park to deal with people like Mansour. So this is just a preamble of getting into the groundwork scholarship that's gone on over the last 100 years on the Quran. So I've read up to I've read a couple of articles yesterday and today. The Quran, Theodore Noldeck. This article, I wasn't particularly impressed by this article, to be honest, but he was, in his time, from up to the 1930s, he was an eminent scholar. I want to just turn to the Quran in Surah 17, 88. Surah 17, 88. It says, say, if all men and jinn gather together to produce the like of this Quran, they could not produce one like it, however much they help one another. In this Quran we have set all kinds of examples for people, yet most of them persist in denying the truth. They declare, we will never believe it in you until you cause spring to flow from us from the earth, or you have a garden of date palms and vines and cause streams to flow plentifully in the midst of them, or you cause the heavens, etc. So the Quran, right up to page 105, Surah 17, 105, gives a defense of itself. It says, we have revealed the Quran with truth, and with the truth it has come down. We have sent you forth only to give good news and to give warning. So the reason why I want to read that passage is, why was the Quran given according to the Quran? It says, we are sent forth only to give good news and to give warning. Contrast that with the Bible. Why was the Bible given? The Bible was given for good news. It was given for warning. But I think ultimately the heart of the Bible is kind of Isaiah 53. It's a book of redemption of God's covenant people. So there's a big difference there between the Quran and for why it exists and why the Bible exists. 106, Surah 17, 106, it says, we have revealed the Quran bit by bit so that you may recite it to the people slowly. So it's saying the reason why it was delivered over a period of time, it was so that it can be recited. So there was this kind of, it's saying there that right early on in the Quran, early on in the inception of the Quran, that there was this recitation going on. Historically, I think there is evidence to show that there seems to be some kind of people who were reciting the Quran. If you turn to Surah 11, verse 13, it says, if they say he has invented it himself, say, if you are truthful, produce 10 invented chapters like it and call on whom you can beside God to help you. So there was accusations that Muhammad had invented it. Why would that be? It's because a number of the parts of the Quran are lifted from Christian and Jewish sources and other sources. So there was already doubt about the Quran in the time of Muhammad. It says, produce, in verse 13, if they say he has invented it himself, say, if you are truthful, produce 10 invented chapters. And then there's another verse that says produce 1. So Quran, Surah 2, Surah 2:23. Surah 2:23. We read, if you are in doubt about the revelation we have sent down to our servant, then produce a single chapter like it. So I think that's a kind of crazy kind of way of defending the Quran. It's very subjective. You know, how can you produce something like it when the Quran's grammar, the editing of the Quran is so bad, the grammar is so bad, you know, to produce a bad piece of writing is what it's saying, you know. You know, even the editing, you know, whoever put this Quran together, whoever put this together, it's not in chronological order, and it's all over the place in terms of editing. So trying to produce something like it would be impossible because it's so bad, literally speaking. And they talk about, Muslim apologists talk about the Arabic is wonderful, it's amazing, and nothing is like it. It was so amazing. Even in the time of Muhammad, people were amazed. I think they were amazed at how shocking the grammar was, not amazed at how wonderful the grammar was. People of his day could see that he'd lifted parts from here, there and everywhere, and that he was faking it. That's what the people of his time saw. Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, is a better passage to produce than anything that the Quran can produce. So anyhow, we're just looking at verses there in the Origin of the Quran by Theodore Noldek on the claims of the Quran itself, which are preposterous really. That it's a subjective claim. Let's go to Quran, Surah 41. Surah 41. Surah 41. Verse 41. Those who reject the reminder Quran, when it comes to them, are the losers. Truly, it is a mighty book. So basically, falsehood shall not reach from it before or from behind. It is a revelation from the wise, from the worthy of all praise. Nothing is said to you but what is said indeed to the messenger before you. Surely your Lord is the Lord of forgiveness. So here it's saying that in Surah 41, verse 41 to 43, that the Quran is the word of God because what's gone before, it's confirming what's gone before. That's blatantly not true. For example, Jesus dying on a cross is denied in the Quran. So it's clearly not confirming the past. It's clearly a break from the past. And yeah, again, there's hypocrisy amongst the Muslims. If you go to Surah 15:9, Surah 15:9, it says, "It is we who have sent down the remainder and will most surely safeguard it." So the Muslims said the Bible's changed, but yet here it's saying that the Islamic God will protect the Scripture. So if God will protect His Scripture, i.e. supposedly the Quran, well, why can't He protect His Scripture when He gave it to the Apostles? So there's a contradiction there amongst Islamic apologists. Another contradiction in Surah 87 verse 6. It's going to go off the camera in a minute. Surah 87 verse 6. Surah 87 verse 6. It says, Surah 87 verse 6 and 7. O Prophet, we shall make you recite the Quran so that you shall not forget any of it except whatever God wills. So he won't forget, but he will forget. Again, a contradiction. So Muhammad could forget the Quran. So that's just a few things about the Quran's claims about itself. is contradictory and doesn't stand up to intellectual scrutiny. God bless you.